Okay, so there's this technology you've definitely heard of, probably tied to crazy price charts and digital money. But today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to look at the real story of blockchain and how it's quietly rebuilding the world right under our feet in ways that have nothing to do with currency.
So let me just ask you a question. When I say the word blockchain, what's the very first thing that pops into your head? For pretty much everyone, it's Bitcoin, am I right? And hey, if that's you, you're in good company. But that connection to crypto? It's just the most famous part. Really, it's just the tip of a massive, massive iceberg. And what's underneath has the power to change, well, pretty much everything.
So what even is this thing? Well, at its heart, a blockchain is actually pretty simple. Just imagine a digital notebook. But here's the twist. Instead of one person or one company owning it, it's shared across thousands of computers. It's a public notebook that anyone can look at, but, and this is the magic part, nobody can go back and change what's already been written. That one simple idea is the key to everything we're about to talk about.
So why should you care about a shared notebook? Because it unlocks this incredible chain of benefits. It all starts with transparency. Because it's public, everyone can see what's going on. That transparency is backed up by some serious security. The data is locked in with cryptography, which makes it nearly impossible to mess with. That security allows for decentralization. No single boss, no single point of failure. And when you put all of that together, you get insane efficiency, because you can automate things and get rid of all the middlemen we used to need just to trust each other.
All right, let's start where it all began, in finance. And then we'll see how that exact same idea is being used for the physical stuff you buy and use every single day.
I mean, look at this. This is the perfect before and after picture. If you've ever sent money to another country, you know the nightmare on the left. It takes days, it costs a fortune in fees, and it hops between so many banks. Blockchain just replaces that entire tangled mess with a straight line. Projects like Ripple's XRP can send that same payment in minutes, not days, for literally pennies. This isn't just a small improvement, it's a total reinvention of how money moves across the globe.
And it goes so much further than just payments. This has kicked off a whole new universe called decentralized finance, or DeFi. You've got platforms like Aave and Compound building entire financial systems for lending and borrowing without a single bank in the middle. And then there's this idea of asset tokenization. Picture taking something huge and valuable, like an apartment building, and turning it into 1,000 digital shares. Suddenly, anyone can own a tiny piece of it. That's what this is doing, making high-value investments accessible to way more people.
Okay, so that's the digital world of money, which makes sense. But what about the physical world? You know, the journey of the actual products that we hold in our hands.
Well, that same ledger technology is now being used to tell the life story of our products. For example, Walmart uses it to trace produce. If there's a food safety issue, they can pinpoint the exact farm it came from in seconds, not weeks. De Beers uses it to track diamonds, guaranteeing they're authentic and not from a conflict zone. And the shipping giant Maersk uses something called smart contracts on the blockchain to automate the mountain of paperwork that comes with global shipping. In every single case, it's providing a trustworthy, unchangeable history for a real-world item.
Now let's switch gears. We're going to move from things you can buy to something way more personal and way more valuable, your information. This is all about putting you back in the driver's seat.
Just think about it for a second. Right now, as you're listening to this, who actually owns your online identity? Is it you? Or is it the handful of giant tech companies you use every day?
The honest answer right now is probably those big companies. But blockchain flips the script entirely. It offers a totally different model where the answer is simple and powerful. You own your identity. You control your data, period. And this isn't some sci-fi fantasy. It's already happening. The entire country of Estonia runs its government services on a blockchain-secured digital ID for its citizens. In healthcare, projects like Medical Chain are building a future where you hold the keys to your own medical records and just grant temporary access to your doctor. And think about services like Civic. Instead of uploading your passport to every new app you use, you can just prove you are who you are without handing over all that sensitive data. You verify yourself once and use that proof everywhere.
This whole idea of verifiable control leads us right to one of the biggest issues in any society, trust, especially when it comes to really important systems like voting. What blockchain offers is a totally new foundation for trust. Instead of having to trust a person or a committee to count things right, you can just trust the transparent, verifiable math of the system itself.
So here's how that would work. Each vote becomes a transaction, locked into that unchangeable ledger. That makes fraud or tampering incredibly difficult. The best part? The whole process becomes completely auditable. Anyone can check the math and verify the result for themselves. This could even open the door to secure digital voting from anywhere. Now, it's still early, but companies like Votes are already running pilots to explore exactly this.
Okay, so we've covered money, physical goods, and personal data. Let's look at one more fun, futuristic area, and then we'll wrap it all up with some practical steps you can take if you're curious.
This quote absolutely nails it. For as long as video games have existed, when you bought that cool sword or that rare skin, you didn't really own it. The game company did. They could take it away anytime. Blockchain completely changes the rules of the game.
This one idea, true ownership, is creating brand new economies inside of video games. In a game like Axie Infinity, players truly own their digital creatures and can trade or sell them on an open market. This created the whole play-to-earn movement, which you see in virtual worlds like the Sandbox, where your time and creativity can actually earn you real value. And the tech behind it all is the NFT, the non-fungible token. Just think of it as a digital deed of ownership for a unique item, a concept that first got famous with a quirky little game about collecting digital cats called CryptoKitties.
All right, let's pull all this together in a quick recap. We've seen how this one core technology, a shared, secure ledger, is being used as a tool to build trust and cut out inefficiency. It's making finance faster, our supply chains safer. It's giving us back control of our own identity. It's making critical systems like voting more transparent. And it's even building totally new economies in the digital worlds of gaming.
So if any of this has sparked your curiosity and you want to explore this world, it is absolutely crucial to be smart about it. The golden rule is always do your own research. Don't just jump in. Start with small, manageable steps. You have to treat your digital private keys like they're the keys to your house and your bank account combined. Look for projects that are actually solving a real problem, not just ones with a lot of hype. And finally, stay curious and keep learning, because this space moves at lightning speed.
So we'll leave you with this one last thought. We've taken a peek below the surface of that big blockchain iceberg. At its very core, its purpose is to create trust where it's broken or doesn't exist. So the real question for you is, what part of our world do you think needs that the most?